Hello, Aquarius, and happy birthday. As the Sun and Pluto has moved into your sign. Very interesting with the birds here. I was just meditating for your read now, just a few minutes ago, and I opened my eyes and there's a bright, bright cardinal in my tree out front, literally sitting there staring at me. All right, so this is just like 10 minutes ago. So that's my window I'm staring at right now. So there's your cardinal. Look how cute he is. He was so bright. I can't express to you how bright he was. There's the tone is a little bit different in this picture, but how cute is that? So the cardinal came up for you. So I wanted to bring that up as well because yesterday when I did Capricorn's read, I was out dancing with my dog in the morning like I usually do. It's actually my daughter's doggy. There was a warble that started singing with us. We were listening to Whitney because she brought in a message for Capricorn yesterday. And this warble started singing, or that's the word I got, warble. I never heard a warble like that before. It was so loud and it was just one bird. And I got warble, and the W was coming up to match Whitney to confirm Whitney coming in earlier. So last night, I decided to do a read for Aquarius just to set the tones for myself before I did your read today, just to feel into some of the energies. And I usually get a code line from all of the cards in the read, from the words from the cards. And the first letters of the code line were TIAIS, and I looked up those letters to see if there was a word, TIAIS, and there wasn't, but there was a word with TIAIS and then KERTTULI. So of course I had to look up the definition for that. And what do you think the definition for that was? Warbler. How crazy is that? So that was very cool. So literally their Crutuli part is warbler, but then the other part references warblers as well. So it doesn't matter whether the second half of the word was there or not. The warbler was definitely coming up. And then the cardinal just came up for you, as I was actually thinking about that too when I was meditating. And when I meditated for you, what I got was, you know, the cool emoji with the black sunglasses? You were coming up with that, like just sitting there kind of like leaning. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool. That was the message coming in. And I had put these cards out today just to get an idea again, and I ended up clarifying them and writing a few pages for you guys. So I'm going to give you that message first, and then I'm going to pull these cards up and do your read. Okay, and I am going to roll the die for you. I said yesterday I wasn't going to do this for all 12 signs, but since the cardinal came up for you, so the cardinal signs are coming up, as well as for me that signifies Aries. So I don't know if you're dealing with an Aries or you have a lot of Aries in your chart. Of course, the North Node is in Aries. So, and it's very significant for Aquarius right now since we're moving into Aquarius. Now remember, we've just finished a Pluto cycle of Capricorn, which means Pluto's already gone through their transformation. So now it's your turn to go through that transformation. So let's see for Aquarius, what wants to come up with the die? Aquarius. All right, we have the North Node, Aries, and then we have number 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and for me that's Libra, which is the South Node, and then we have Aries again here. So I guess we have a little confirmation around Aries there, and Libra in the middle, mediating. 2 Aries perhaps. Are you dealing with 2 Rams or 2 hard-headed people? I'm going to get right into this read on the table so I can get through this quickly so that I can get into your fresh read. But there was some energies from last night's read I wanted to give you really quickly. This Is Us has been coming up, as well as the warbler, like I said. Chickadee also came up, and then Chi-Chi came up. I heard that in the background as I was writing Chickadee. And the energy of Source, God, and the clam or oyster was coming up here with ES to see Kate. So the name Kate could be coming up for you, as well as to seek 8. The 8-8 was also coming up, which is Lion's Gate 8-8. But that was coming up for me as well. In my header, if you go into my YouTube channel, the artwork around me are triple 8s on either side. It's 2 8s on the outside with an 8 rising in the middle. So that's very significant. To seek 8, and then the 8 of Cups was coming up, which is the walking away and going within. Night 6, Lover's Night, of the AE and AB, or the bright light and fresh water, but AB also means fresh water and semen. And then the 10 of Cups comes up, which is the ultimate emotional fulfillment. To see the key of 8-8, of course, the pebble was coming up here, which is a small rock. God's clam was coming up as sea lamb, the Christ lamb, seeking to dance cheek to cheek, night 6, or chick to chick, perhaps night 6. The Eve, Ad AM, or Adam, lover's night and day of rest. The bright light of ash and the AB fresh water or semen. And Mary and Jesus were coming up there with the ashes M and N, Mary and Jesus, between the 6 and 8-8, the Knight of Chalices and key 7, the Page of Pentacles and Knight of Cups in the Chariot. All right, so those are the messages from last night, as well as 34 and 44 were coming up. And then 44 has been coming up a lot, which is that 8 of Wands, that energetic exchange, the arrows of love, but it's just a lot of energy. It could be a lot of busyness going back and forth. So the message on the table. So I pulled these. Today's the 22nd, which is the Fool. It's all 22 for me is also the 5D station. And I pulled these at 10. I actually pulled this at 10:53. And this is the SIRIAN Starseed deck. I have these to set the tone, right? This is for the end of the read, and we have the Fortune's Oracle to set the tone today as well. We have Rider-Waite Mini and the SIRIAN Starseed deck as the main deck here. And the underlying energy here was the soulmates, the siblings, or big hugs. Very beautiful, sweet energy. The 6 of Cups was upright and the 2 of Cups, both soulmate energies. You know, that innocent, pure, innocent soulmate energy of the 6 of Cups and past lives, right? Your childhood. And the 2 of Cups, the more adult energy right there of soulmates. Soulmate, siblings, big hugs, as the twin flame energy was also coming up with the 2 of Wands, and the SIRIAN Starseed deck is literally 2 flames. As the King of Wands shaman is steering the ship in Color My World, rainbow, arrows of love. With the eyes of Laura Mars, as Venus is going to meet up with Mars on 2/22, they were also bringing up for you, Aquarius, that 2 was more, or February is more significant for you. The Hermit comes out. The Hermit in the Mary Magdalene cave comes out of the ice castle, and Batman walks away and within to the Bat cave. As the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords connect and text, Insta, Facebook, LinkedIn, under a wave, a tree, a bridge, an archway, an arc, a path. 2 very connected, one-to-one, face-to-face, linked in, at link, ED, which is Mr. Ed. I always refer to God as Mr. Ed, but also it's extra dimensional. Link ED in, instant text, where text is the TT of X, or TE, which is the moral man, and XT, which possesses wood, rod, and staff. The mast, which is support, equal to 52.5 meters, for heaven's sake. The moral man threw out the fire with possessions, property, a meal, food, something, anything. The tree or family tree of support. The XT is extraterrestrial as well, where the capital T is where the buck stops here. The capital E is the temple. And XT, or that extraterrestrial, is coming up as, the E is coming up as ample, which means ample, and then T is temple. Or excuse me, the ample is coming up as the XT, but the capital E is also means temple. So the ample temple is coming up of the ET. Text, TEXT, equals abundant temple of ET. Diffuse one, equal and congruent to ET. The temple of Tesla, time out, top dog. Remember Tesla's magnetic flux density. Thymine, threonine, which is 309 as well as a highway nearby. Matrix transpose, tritium, the wild card for a tone or stress level, the tonicity of a syllable. Teen, t-shirt, Tuesday, Thursday, tenor, Model T. Technical foul, T-wave, T-cell, T-beam. Temperance, AT&T, a part of Pennsylvania between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, is in the shape of a T. This is us, trans, butch lesbian, a letter of multiple placements, adapter, time, tone thickness, T-O-N-N-E, and then temperature, and then ton. Bread, tavu, which is bite or syllable, to spell, and the lungs. Testosterone, to as compared to the E, capital E of estrogen here, so ET is coming up again, even though we were just looking up under T. T and E, both testy here, to remove sharp, cheesy one. The red collective fish, roe fish, or dear one, to ask, request, pray, solicit, or read, as in the plant read, to ground you. Not T and A, but T and E, that titbird warble, and the ear, to hear them with. So the Six of Swords, oh, and you were also coming up as the space between, right? And 2 and 4 represent the space between for me. The space between, remember, polarity is a part, but 2 is also about mediation, accepting both sides and then collapsing it to the middle, where here comes up the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Swords and the dolphin swim comes up here as the Six of Swords, and then the Hermit's right there. The reflecting doll, Sophia, on a whim. The hermit shedding or holding light on this with staff and lantern and cloaked. Something mysterious about that bloke. As the emperor discards his false hand, robotic forearm on fire, removing the arthritis fire that is a device insert. Remove it now. Apparently we have AI in our lineage as well, inserting itself without permissions, without consent. A consent, which actually, it's interesting. I just dealt with that and getting a spam type of prompt in my email. Clearing the masculine saint field, the claws of old Saint Nick with the Queen of Swords, the reed at her right wrist, healing this. Nature to ground while she holds Excalibur in her left, with a firm handle on the whole truth after piecing it all together. Her mosaic, Lady Liberty with auric crown, etheric altar above her, and Hall of Records, which records is coming up as re-cording or reattaching the cord. The library, liberties, and liberally. Contrary to popular belief, moving to peace in a friendly sink or swim, Sophia's ink or whim, a fin, a rod and staff, minus an arm and in need of a laugh, toss and pull at the dunking booth. So I looked up dunking booth to see what messages there were for you, and there was a prompt about a Pennsylvania fair back in 2020. It was July 23rd, 2020, where there was a dunk tank at a fair, and the title was PA Fair's Dunk Tank Mocks State Health Officials. Their target was one impersonating, or so the article says, impersonating Dr. Rachel Levine, who leads the state's medical response. And so I looked at the article real quick, and it was just the fire chief in the area who put on a blonde wig, and he said he was just going for a Marilyn Monroe look. But when the people started saying he looked like Levine, he played along with it here, and they actually ended up making a lot of money at the booth. So it was interesting because my first thought here wasn't about gender, right? So she's a transgender person, so they're assuming that these people were making fun I'm using her as a target because she's transgender, but I wasn't thinking that at all. I was thinking it was July 23rd, 2020, where people were disagreeing about health decisions. So it was kind of interesting. It was definitely bringing up perspective here. And this was Fox News running the story where there's no place for hate, right? Pennsylvania isn't a place for hate, which of course you agree with. I agree with that. But are they just using that, as a fear tactic for people? I definitely agree that, at any fair you go to, there's going to be people who are prejudiced. There's going to be people who don't agree on lots of different things. And then there's going to be people who just are going for a laugh, right? For some comic relief. So just a call to remember to see all the different perspectives in a situation. As perhaps this energy was a man hung out to dry. Perhaps the person who was with the blonde wig wasn't intending that at all, but was trying to, raise money for a good cause. And this was coming up with the hangman and the right knee block. So again, the block on the right knee. And Capricorn was coming up all about the hips. And all the emotions that get stuck in the hips need to be released. And here again, the right knee block is coming up for you. Seeing a new perspective of the blocked masculine and the raised feminine. So at 12:21, I clarified the card, since this was coming up, with the Rider-Waite to see if there's any more energy around this topic coming up. The underlying energy was the Ten of Pentacles upright, right? The wealthy family, business, community, or legacy, and deception of the King of Wands reversed, which also can represent a King of Wands who's not actually a King of Wands, right? A Queen of Wands, or a man who's not a man, but a woman who's charitable and fair and shares, or tired of being knocked over or railroaded, run down for being loving one-to-one, or why not a healthy face-to-face instead, as opposed to getting laughs at another's expense, with the Ten of Pentacles upright to the Two of Cups upright and the Six of Pentacles in the middle. It's the clingy, toxic, cancerous energies in the spaces between that cause the problems. So apparently they're asking you to clear this toxic energy because it's affecting you because you're in the space between, as was coming up a little while ago. So collapsing the opposing views to mediate with the Six of Pentacles in the middle. But this topic is really just about collapsing the opposing views. All right, so in 5D energy and staying present at 0 point and all that, it's about accepting both polarities, right? It's the victim in the middle who has to make the shift, because you have the perpetrator on one side and you have the savior on the other side. It's not the savior and the victim, or the perp and the victim. That's not the polarity. The polarity is the savior and the perpetrator. But it's the victim in the middle who needs to make the shift, because they're not going to give up their positions. It's the one in the middle who needs to accept both in order to collapse it all in, right? People accepting each other's differences, not trying to make them see your way, but to accept them as they are, which then diffuses the situation and then allows it to collapse. And then you actually get to know each other, and then you don't have those angry energies anymore, because then you start caring about someone. It's not unknown anymore, so the fear collapses. So we have the energy of the 1 and 2. This is 1244 now, which is the Hanging Man, and the 44, which is the Four of Cups. And for me, that's also grounding and integrating, learning how to receive love. And it's also the Hercules energy. And in the numerology book, the Divine Triangle, it literally is the Atlas energy. But in the cards, the 36 is Atlas. So the 44 is more of a social worker Atlas, more of the feminine energy. So the 1 and the 2, or the masculine and feminine, and the life lesson here of the 44, which is L1, L1, the LL of the life lesson, and the 1, of the 11 of alignment, and that energy of Libra, which is a mediation energy. 2 lefts at just the right angle, a boomerang, back to 1, and 1, so 1 plus 1, and now aligned by accepting their differing views. If one says you're weird or you're wrong, then they're going to be called mean usually, and then you're just fighting fire with fire when water is needed to put the fire out. Just a little love is all it takes to accept who we are by accepting who they are and not trying to change them, but by getting to know each other instead. We only fear the unknown. Once you know and care about them, you no longer want to hurt them, right? And then you learn to accept them, just like your children. They're not going to be just like you, but you still love them and accept them. So the Six of Swords and Hermit comes up here, finding peace by apologizing or forgiving, healing your own heart, weathering the storm, acceptance of the Four of Wands and the Ace of Swords, with peace at home, projecting your truth, right? So your home is an example of who you are, right? Where you're most comfortable and you're most yourself. It literally radiates or projects your truth. After soul ties and a choice of path of the King of Wands reversed in a heated exchange with the Hermit in the Mary Magdalene cave above the group and Batman walking away and within to the Bat cave to clear the mood. As the Knight of Cups reversed gets schooled by the Sphinx or Akashic Records keeping the Golden Goose in check. As the Knight of Cups reversed is surrounded by Libra and Aquarius, a lot of air, as the Knight of Swords upright passes word to the Two of Cups, or a pair. You see, in the past, an offer of passion, creativity, or growth was given by the Queen of Pentacles, wanting to invest her time, money, and efforts in sharing her two wands, keeping one, destined to be rejected by the Knight of Cups reversed, the Star. The Four of Pentacles holding on, keeping their cards close and not wanting to share, wanting all the attention to bring the good news, lead the way on their white horse in the sun, while the Hermit, which could be a professional or a Virgo person or a grandfather giving advice, holds the light on them from a cold or snowy place, dumping a load or their burdens, or all of their responsibilities, taking a load off, putting your feet up, to deal with post-war PTSD or weakness and fear of walking away, to go within and find themselves to come together in peace. As the Queen of Swords, upright, then talks about emotional attachments and letting go of emotions that no longer serve, to the Six of Cups, upright, for the innocence to connect in pure love. Magically, the Magician embodiment, laying their cards on the table and singing the song Shout was coming up from Animal House. Tell me that you love me, right? Tell me that you need me. The piece de resistance, and getting out of the tower before it falls at the 11th hour, grounding and integrating that cup that was offered to self, a note to self to ground and integrate, being defenseless to the energies of the two lovers out in the cold or the storm, which again can reference social work as well. The peaceful Hermit and reasonable Queen of Swords, reflecting fire and air, clearing the air, a grounding plug to hold the sword, right? Holding the sword with direct contact. There's no need for the staff to hold the light, as she triggers herself to see another way. Virgo and Aries both upright here for peaceful Aquarius with Capricorn or Pisces and hanging out. Gemini, Knight of Swords, or lovers get a delivery, or the Knight of Swords to the Queen of Swords, coming clean about the Knight of Wands reversed and the Queen of Wands reversed, perhaps people, fire signs, or kids out of control, or drained and unable to function or finish, perhaps ran out of steam, a need to get back to integrity, intuition, a secret passion, or exposing all secrets, or overexposed, holding back an announcement or call to take a close look or extend an invitation. Vacillating waters and emotions, comme ci, comme ça, que sera, sera, looking back at the Emperor surrendering to the King of Cups, or retiring to be the King of Cups, to offer the Ace of Pentacles, time, money, and energy, or perhaps a whole new life, to bridge a happy family, to the Queen of Cups reversed. As the King of Cups upright to the Queen of Cups reversed, the Fool is freed from too much back and forth or business or busyness, with the King of Pentacles upright as the Page of Swords reversed comes together to work, sort, or expand with the Page of Wands reversed. Perhaps Aries is free from the King of Pentacles duties now, with the Page of Swords and Page of Wands both reversed, who could be kids or pets underfoot, or perhaps unanswered messages at work that you don't want to deal with. As the King of Wands reversed is apart from the Page of Wands reversed, and the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Wands reversed. All the wands are reversed. All right, so fire is difficult energy right here. The Emperor's upright, but the Empress is reversed. And the Nine of Pentacles is reversed. The dependent energy of still sleeping. Perhaps you have a kid who won't get out of bed or is still in bed depressed. As the King of Swords is upright, ending a cycle of pain, or at least the worst is over, and you're happy with self or happy with being alone, as the Nine of Cups is upright and getting your wish. Perhaps not sleeping well or stressed out, suffering in silence at night, perhaps crying at night, or trying to get organized as the Empress reversed and not feeling organized, perhaps feeling lack. As the Knight of Pentacles is helping to detox conflicts or a losing battle with something that takes a lot of energy to do. Perhaps anxious or trapped, and then realizing, awakening to the world that's upside down in a divorce, or the 5D world and alternative belief systems, and keeping to self and or your energy clear for peace of mind by the water, perhaps, with Taurus, 2 Tauruses reversed, Capricorn reversed, and 2 Pisces reversed here. Impatient injustice, or the Page of Cups upright, cheering them up, with Saggy and Libra both reversed here, losing the patience with what's not fair or balanced, as the Page of Cups upright to the 2 of Swords is a note to self of kindness and being gentle to oneself. So, and I pulled a couple of the Fortune's Oracle too, which the underlying energy was the Love card of 17, so that was beautiful. At 157, I think we started at 557 too, so the 57 is coming up again. And the first cards out were 8 and 3, the Dragonfly and the Iguana, so there's a lot of nature energies here. The Dance of Lovers, and to beware of camouflage. Buyer, beware. As the 4 of Birth and the 16 of Lion and 10 of Fire, birthing with a rebel yell, a lion's roar, and sudden destined fire, or burning wood, the strength of the Empress to dance and camouflage, as the Emperor is loud and heating things up, with Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Aries, and Scorpio here, and Libra, which is literally all 4 fixed signs, along with the North and South nodes. Okay, so all 4 fixed signs are here for you. All right, so remember that. You may be dealing with stubborn energies. Okay, so now we're going to break all these cards down and shuffle so we can give you a nice fresh read. So let's see, and read. So the plant reed, like in Egyptian symbols, one of the letters is reed, is coming up. And one of the pictures, so here, so see how she's got like this reed energy, this plant against her wrist, grounding that wrist, where it was coming up as arthritis perhaps for the masculine, and she's healing that for them by doing it, you know, for herself. And see how this was so aligned. See how the 2 of Cups came up right here at the bottom, and the 2 of Cups came up right here. And actually when I was shuffling this read, I saw the Lover's card too. So there's definitely really beautiful energies there. All right, so let's see where we are here. Aries, this is, so it's January going into February for Aries for 2024. And you had that Cardinal, I was getting Olympics energy, literally like the athletes with Aries coming in. So I don't know how that affects you. But the 8-8 Lionsgate was definitely coming in, which is toward the end of the Olympics. Because it starts on the, I think it starts on the 26th, but actually there's some events the 24th and 25th before the opening ceremonies. And it is a big 8 year. And into Aquarius. So we're in Aquarius till September, and then it goes back to Capricorn for a few months, and then it sets into Aquarius. I think it's the end of November, and then it's in Aquarius until 44. All right, so let's get these out first. This is for the end. And we're going to set the tone with the Fortune's Oracle first. So just know this is going to be a long read because as it is when I do my normal reads. I try to keep them under an hour, or even like 40 minutes, but they end up being an hour, so just so you know. All right, so for divine, for the Aquarius for January going to February, for the best and highest good of all that's concerned. What's the energy here? We have the moon, and the 21 is the world. And it's also completion, and the 2 and the 1 is also the masculine and feminine, so there's some romance energy for here, for this card for sure. And you notice the 2 stars kind of escorting the moon here, which can reference the sun and Sirius as well. And there's that 8-8 energy, and the space between, referencing for you, Aries, because there's some connection with the space between, and the moon now is coming up for you as well. And here's the lover's romance again, and there's the 18 again, which is the moon. So it's definitely moon and romance energies along with the world here, which is the mother energy. This can be mother and daughter as well. And daughter was coming up earlier. These 2 want to be seen too. The bottom of the deck is the dragonfly, which is that 8 year again coming up. The dragonfly mates like a heart, right? It's like 2 sticks flying in the air that come together and they land on a plant and fall into a heart shape and start pulsing. It's really cool if you've never seen it before. I saw that for the first time when I was in France. It was so cool. So we also have the fire here of the 10, which is the destiny card. And it looks like it's a wood-burning fire here. And then the world is coming up again over here with the 36, which is the Atlas energy. So there's that weightlifting kind of energy and the weight of the world, but also the Olympics coming up around the world. So it's really getting heated up here. The romance around this, and perhaps there's a mother or mother and daughter type of energy here. In the space between, right, the stars, the supporting roles, right, between the stars, or athletes, if you actually have a family with an Olympic athlete. But things are heating up around this, whether it's a love or romance, or the Olympics, or whatever it is around the world. We have the moon and the earth, and this card has the world and the moon. So they're literally, the stars are escorting the moon, and then the moon and the world are escorting you here. This destined romance here. It's really interesting the way it's coming up. All right, let's see. Aquarius. So it's interesting, right? Because you have Pisces and Cancer energies up there, and Libra with the 10, and there's fire represented as well. So there's no air represented there. One second, just have to move my book out of the way. Okay. Aquarius for January to February 2024, for the best and highest good of all those concerned. I've already asked for guides, angels, and masters to come in, as long as they're in that high vibe love light, for the best and highest good of all those concerned. They are welcome. For Aquarius, January to February 2024. 2024. One more. Aquarius. Aquarius. Also, my kink in my left shoulder has been acting up yesterday and today. So that might be a relationship to you. Aquarius. January to February 2024 for Aquarius. Okay. First card out for Aquarius. The Indigo. So this big offer. The Indigo is the Magician card. So it's that young energy of the Magician embodiment offering a crystal. This could be a diamond. It could be a rock. It could be an offering of diamond light, of their diamond light. But the Magician's all about manifesting big here in a magical way. It's also Gemini. Sometimes Virgo also comes up for that, for me. The challenge for you here is the Four of Cups. And in this card, and again, we're talking about Sirius, so she could be looking up to Sirius to try to connect. And she's on this rock to herself, an island to herself. The cheese came up. Was that your message? The cheese stands alone? It's kind of that energy, right? Spotting the star to make sure she's aligned while all this chaos is going on around her. And that's that grounding and integrating energy of the Four of Cups, which, you know, the standard definition has to do with boredom and apathy, but that's really time to ground and integrate any experiences you've just had. To integrate that energy, you need time to rest and go within. And don't forget that's that Hercules energy too, the number 44. So the foundation here, I'm taking it from the wrong place. Okay, so from the next card is the, what did I put? That was the Empress down there. We have the Four of Pentacles in the foundation for you. And the Four of Pentacles has to do with holding on or saving or perhaps clinging too much. But in this deck for me, it's really about the Divine Masculine's heart in the Batcave here, right? Just taking in those energies here. You have a 4 here and a 4 here. She's at 44 again. And then we have the star coming up in the recent past, which is that Sirius star again. So it's confirming Sirius again. So maybe you might want to try aligning with Sirius a bit. Do a little meditation with Sirius. Or somebody's a Sirius star here, a rock star. There's Egyptian energy there, of course. This could be a rock star healer. So Aquarius, all about Aquarius, of course. And then we have Gemini, perhaps, or Virgo here as well. So a lot of air here between Gemini and Aquarius. The crowning energy for you is the Three of Swords, where lightning strikes here. There's a ship out in the ocean, a searchlight at night. And again, you're coming up as this electric energy. Remember, I'm cool, man, I'm cool. You're in this very cool energy of lightning. Kind of skipping across the sky there. You see how the lightning is the same kind of energy as she is, in that same position going forward, skipping across the sky. And she's trying to collect some sounds from the music of the spheres. And serious, getting serious about healing. It's got the same line. See, this is like her rod right here, this lightning rod. And then what's coming up for you, this is also the Three of Swords, which is 57, which came up for you twice. And that can be about separation. It can be about disappointment, about heartbreak. You know, there's this longing here of the feminine and the longing here of the masculine. And a big offering right here, you know, with this big past of Atlantis coming up there with Egypt. And then what's coming up for you here, Aquarius, is the Three of Pentacles, which has to do with the workplace. And there's 3 crystals here, and Trinity is written there, which I always get this energy of the 3, right? 3, and then the NI, which is the show of power, and then TY, which is thank you, gratitude. This is energy of trying a show of power, of gratitude here at work. And it's also like a gingerbread house. So I don't know if you're dealing with gingerbread or... Oh, that's interesting too. My daughter had brought a gingerbread house home from work, but that was a couple weeks ago. So I don't know how that relates to you. I don't know if you relate to Hansel and Gretel, you know, in some way. And you have 2 3s here. So it could be interference here. Are you the interference or somebody else interfering, or just a third-party situation where you know, when you have 2 people who disagree, you need that third party to break the tie. And what do you do when there's 3 who don't agree? So for whatever reason, that's coming up. And then we have the transition here is the way you're seeing yourself as being in transition or going through a portal, right? Where she's lying on that tomb or whatever that is and leaving her body. Maybe you've had a near-death experience. But this can be any transition in your life. And you're seeing yourself as seeing the light and stepping into it. Stepping into the light. In a flash of light. And it's aligning with work, a transition with work and with the Divine Masculine's heart. And we have Scorpio here. So Scorpio, Aquarius, and Gemini. And you could be dealing with a death here. What's around you, or how others might be seeing you, is the Nine of Swords. So some suffering here. Maybe you're hiding underground, not wanting people to see your face. So if you are grieving, you may be covering your face, you may be covering your mirrors or windows at home, depending on what your religious beliefs are. This could also be somebody around you grieving your death, but you wouldn't be listening to me if it's your death. So that's why I don't feel like it's that. So it's an end, it can be an ending to something, or you are grieving something, but this would then be you, right? Not wanting to show your face. At least while in transition. And you could be transitioning from the workplace here, right? Someone's staying in their cave, perhaps at home, perhaps someone has a cave at work, or just staying underground, right? This is that energy of hiding underground in your cave, or not wanting to be seen at work. There may be an ending here at work. Someone might have left the job, or again, someone may have had a near-death experience, and then they leave the hospital, or maybe don't want to work there anymore after a certain experience. The block here is the Tower. And again, you have both of the lightning cards, okay? So you're like hands across the sky here with the lightning and causing fires. Remember I said, as the space between, the toxicity was there that needed to be cleared. And you're coming into like that, as that sudden flash of light to clear the air, literally. And I'm getting into the night, right? And it's very much night energy here, even the cave over here. And everything's kind of dark. Even this is dark. It's all nighttime energies here with lightning. So your block has to do with connecting with the stars, or aligning, or seriously aligning, perhaps learning how to connect with yourself, or perhaps you just always wanted to learn more about astrology or astronomy. And this is like knocking the shadow off the wall. It's interesting because it could be like a Spider-Man kind of energy where Spidey gets knocked down. This is someone sitting on the fence who gets knocked off the fence, right? It's because somebody took too long to decide what they want to do. It's like you're the lightning that comes in to knock them off the fence or the wall. This also could be coming up as a hermit energy. Because my card that I created is actually a hermit on like an old stone church. And this is like knocking the hermit off the wall. And the hermit's been coming up a lot in the other reads. However, it hasn't come out here. So let's see where that goes. So it's coming up here at the end, and I want to keep pulling from the bottom, so we'll have to see why. But the final card here is the Nine of Pentacles, which is the sovereign energy, right? That energy of a single person with everything. Or perhaps it's a married person or an attached person, but they're very independent. They have everything they need. They're very happy with themselves. They're very stable within themselves. So this could be someone who feels like they received an inheritance from someone who passed, but perhaps, they can't see the good in it yet because they're still grieving a death. And one more card for you is the Moon. All right, so the Moon came up here too. So some kind of romance about this, right? And there is romance in grief. I remember when we were very young, and I think it was my grandfather's funeral. My grandfather passed when I was 8 years old. But I think it was somebody, it must have been in college I had some passings too of my grandparents. But I remember being at a funeral and just noticing how beautiful my sister looked when she was grieving. And there is a certain romance about that. And there's a lot of earth And then Cancer energy here. Maybe someone was literally lost at sea because there's searchlights out to sea. But the sea can represent emotions as well. So someone who was very depressed, who got lost in their emotions. So there's another card that wants to come up too, but I'm going to wait for the end to give that to you. Let's see what else might come up. I want to look at the bottom because they keep making me want to take cards from the bottom of the deck. So we know that it was the abundance of the Empress here on the bottom of the deck, but let's see what else is under here. Because I wanted me to, so we're going back to the Four of Wands. We have Justice, which is Libra energy. We have Guidance, which is the Hierophant or Taurus energy, and then another Taurus of abundance. All right, so we have Libra, Taurus, and Taurus. And then the stability of the home is the Castle. Let's see what was behind that. And we have the Ten of Cups behind that. And then Karma. For me, Karma is an Aquarius energy, so we'll start there. And we have the King of Wands behind that too. We have the King of Wands and the King of the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands energy behind this Karma card of Judgment. And behind that is the Wheel of Fortune. So I'm not going to put all those cards up, but just so you know where this energy is coming from. All right, so lots of Taurus and Libra energies in the underlying energy, and the home. 1111 is coming up with that home as well. Right, there's this beautiful energy of emotional fulfillment, the Ten of Cups, and the home that's, you know, a castle. It's really solid with a drawbridge. You know, there's roses out front of red and white, and the sun, there's a sun rise and set in your backyard type of energy here. And then your card of Karma, which is the Judgment card. And here we have the Lotus of the Awakening. Right? The wake-up call to any karma to clear. With this, the King of Wands and the Knight of Wands and the underlying energy below that. We're definitely dealing with Libra, Taurus energies there, and Aquarius. And you have Aquarius here again. You have 2 Aquarius, you have 2 Taurus, and 2 Libra. So intensely of those 3 signs in the underlying energies. So let's see where the clarifiers go. You have several major arcana here too. Not only between the Judgment card, the Guidance or Hierophant card, and then the Abundance of the Empress, but then you have the Star, which is you have the Indigo, which is Gemini, perhaps Virgo, and then you have 2 Scorpio, double Scorpio. A lot of double cards here. Wow. And then you have the 2 moons too with Cancer. Very interesting. And then Scorpio too, right? 2 Scorpios, 2 Cancers, everything 2s except for Gemini. Which would be the Lovers card. That's not the other Gemini card. We have the Lovers here. You have 2 of everything. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So it's February and the 2/22 where Venus and Mars come together. They're conjunct. In Pisces. I think Pisces actually starts before the 20th. I think it's said 18th or the 19th, something like that. And that's when everything goes into Pisces. There's 2 planets in Taurus and I think 3 in Aquarius, something like that. But a lot of those 3 signs, Aquarius, Pisces, and Taurus. I don't have any Pisces card. I mean, you have 21 up there, which is Pisces. The world, that's Pisces. So you have Pisces too. All right. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So you have all 3 water signs. And you have all 3 air signs, right? Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And then Taurus. So, and there's no fire, right, in the read. You have the fire signs down there and the underlying energies. All right. Aquarius, January to February 2024. For the best and highest good of all is concerned. Aquarius. All right, so we have these three guys coming up with the Empress over here in abundance. So this is Atlas, right? So dumping that weight of the world, perhaps losing a lot of weight. Dumping your responsibilities, perhaps a confession here, right? Now that the war is over, dealing with PTSD or looting here with the Queen of Swords. You know, neither one of them are happy here. They could be grieving, right? Taking off work to grieve. But this also could be lying, you know, or negative talk here. We have the Empress here. So she could be in lack there. I mean, there could be a marriage involved here, right? Because we have Justice and the Marriage card, which can represent marriage and divorce and the home with the union, right? All right, that right there. So it sounds like, you know, could be a death because that would involve a lot about those things. So, I mean, this is something you'd know about already. Because you know, you are being represented as the Death card, which can just mean transition. It doesn't have to be a death. And usually transition is good. It's just not necessarily fun for fixed signs when they have to go through it. Not for anyone, but especially fixed signs who don't like change. So the Star card here in the recent past is the Ace of Swords. The truth coming in. To or about a separation, a heartache, or this is, you know, bad weather too, this storm right here. And we have the Magician reversed. So this is somebody who's, you know, getting told here, right? Having their head handed to them on a silver platter there. Making them, this could be someone being manipulative, but that maybe they're being manipulated because they're insecure without the tools that they need to deal with this situation. And is it a life-saving situation where you have to find someone out at sea? I mean, and I don't usually get those kind of stories coming up, but it is coming up here. And it could be at night. So the Star could be, if it's reversed, it could represent depression or even arrogance of the Magician reverse, which isn't a good combination. But the truth is coming in here, right? Someone's being told the truth. Is the truth causing a separation? And then the Magician looking back at the past or living in the past and dealing with these three guys. The Empress upright, the Queen of Wands reversed, and the Hermit reversed. So there's that Virgo energy I said wasn't present. All right, so you have the Empress over here, you have the Emperor upright, and then the Queen of Wands reversed with the Hermit reversed, which could be representing her losing her mind or over isolating, right? Or coming out even about whatever she's dealing with here. And these both could be Virgo energies reversed. And then Aries with the Magician. Excuse me, with the Emperor. So the foundation of the Four of Pentacles for Aquarius. All right, we have the Knight of Wands, which was in the underlying energy with the Fool reversed, and the Seven of Swords reversed. So they could be coming clean or cleaning up their act, you know. Maybe someone's grieving, so the kids are kind of like scrambling to do their part and clean up their act here, right? Or clean up the house. It can also be someone who feels like they fell, this could be the person in the Bat Cave here, feeling like they fell short of expectations, they didn't make it to the end, because of foolish behavior or their player ways. And this can just represent being paralyzed by passions as well, not being able to function, right, because of emotions that are really high. And there's issues at work here, right, coming clean about issues at work. Perhaps about money issues, right? Trying to hold on because there's not much left, or clinging to what's left, or trying to save, or not wanting to share the business. Remember, there's 3 and 3 here, right? So there's some kind of interference there. We have a foolish Aries energy. This could be Saggy as well. Coming clean about issues at work, and the real story about how little there is, or someone who's clinging and not wanting to share. So the indigo energy in the center of your read here with the Magician, which is this, reversed. Why is the indigo reversed in the middle there? So we have the Hierophant. This could be insecurities within a marriage or a religious leader, right? This is the all boys club. Somebody might want to walk away from a marriage or a commitment, a contract. Or from being exposed. Maybe someone knows something's going to go down and they want to get out of there before it happens. Or there's a need to propose to someone. Maybe someone's expecting to be proposed to. And perhaps the other person knows if they don't, right? There's some kind of ultimatum on the table. If you don't propose by this time, then I'm out of here. And perhaps threatening to expose all. But I mean, ultimately, these three cards together is a positive energy. Has to do with commitment and energy, sunshine, vacation. Perhaps taking a walk in the mountains or going to the mountains or committing to do that. But there's some insecurities involved or manipulation. Right, with a lack of tools, and that can be emotional tools, right? Not knowing how to deal with a situation, or literally not having, like, for example, it's camping tools, not having a tent to go camping, or this card wants to come out with that as well. So then we have the Hangman. So again, it could be hanging out up the mountains here, but with someone who's insecure or manipulative, right? Someone who may have been read the Riot Act before they came. Maybe someone has some depression and somebody doesn't want that depression to be showing on this vacation, or going on this vacation to try to heal that energy, to just have a good time. And challenged by the Four of Cups here. Right, the two lovers out in the cold. Is this a patient being discharged from a hospital? Or there could be social work involved here as well. Somebody overworking, or it's just not working out. And there could be a negative message here. This could be a child mouthing off too, lying and spying and having trouble with the kids, and overworking, and they don't have time to deal with this situation right here. Perhaps looking seriously into getting help for the kids or for some depression here. And we have the Knight of Cups as well. So it could be more than one child who's going through some depression here. And that could be in a breaking up of a marriage or a death. Both of those things can cause depression. And the need to detox here. You know, time to be still. Not to keep busy, but to allow the grief process to happen, to allow it to flow through you. The Three of Swords is crowning right there. Three of Swords. The Lovers reversed and the Knight of Swords reversed. So this could be somebody with Gemini in their chart, or again a breakup and somebody either lashing out or holding their tongue and not dealing with it. So some kind of separation or heartbreak here, and then suddenly freaking out or exploding. This could be a storm as well. Sudden epiphanies. And suddenly feeling overwhelmed or attacked. And this could be the energies coming in, feeling defenseless to the energies, feeling defenseless to the group, feeling defenseless to anything coming at you, right? Even where you normally go to work and everything's no big deal. And now you just can't imagine doing it because you're going through some depression or grief, right? This need to detox right away, right? It can't wait anymore. The need to be still and not work, to be out. So whether this is children or adults, it can be both. And then we have the Three of Pentacles here, which has come up reversed already. We have the Five of Cups reversed with the Empress upright here. So it looks like there's been some recovery here, emotional recovery for the Empress. Maybe she's ready to go back to work. Because this is like deep grief. And then here is like some kind of recovery here. So if it's not deep grief, maybe she had some kind of big surgery or a minor surgery that she needed to recover from. And now this is like, are you able to go back to work and deal with all the issues there? There is emotional recovery here. But perhaps still dealing with children here. And we have the Queen of Swords here, the High Priestess. Right, this could be getting someone a nurse or an aide for home if they've just been discharged or just had some kind of major event. This can also represent her as a Pisces or even Virgo or even Aquarius at times. And we have Taurus here as well. And someone who's dissatisfied. This could be someone who doesn't like their aide or their nurse, right? If there's somebody, a parent in a home or Alzheimer's facility who doesn't like the person that's been hired for them, maybe they're complaining about that. Or just not wanting one. I don't need one. I'm the Empress. You see yourself as transitioning or Scorpio energy or going to the light. Like I said, a near-death experience. Aquarius. Why do you have transition? Why is it the way you see yourself? We have the Six of Cups, right? The innocent ones. Juggling, performing, or performing together. This could be, you know, trying to put on a good act for the parents so that the parents don't feel their weight, but they're not showing them what's really going on behind the scenes, the depression that they're experiencing. Trying to be good little kids, you know, while their parents are grieving. Or literally these are kids or adult soulmates, you know, performing together, doing the juggling act, the balancing act, and then the wounded warrior surrendering here, giving up. And this could, you know, you might have had an elderly parent on hospice who finally gave up. And here we have the King of Cups. It could be a Cancer energy. Maybe you're dealing with Cancer. And then we have a King of Swords reversed, Aquarius here involved as well. So it looks like there's a fire sign. If there's someone who gave up, it's the fire sign energy that was in the underlying energies. The King of Wands or Knight of Wands reversed. And then here we have the King of Cups and the King of Swords. He's upright. And he may be driving the King of Swords to help you as Aquarius here. And then the Nine of Swords. The Judgment card reversed. So a wake-up call, a need to make calls, a need to make an announcement. Right? Perhaps a poor decision that was made. Somebody who choked, literally. Or somebody who choked as in, you know, they got scared and they didn't do it. They didn't make the call. They should have made the call. And then the Page of Pentacles with an invitation or an opportunity here. This could be an earth sign child as well, who may be suffering in silence, not telling. But they see it, this might be a really good student too. Or maybe they got healed and started doing really well in school. But somebody with Aquarius in their chart, perhaps. Perhaps with a parent who's an air sign here, or an Aquarius parent. Or we have Gemini here too. But again, there's some kind of suffering in silence there. Or stressed, not sleeping well. And a lot of Aquarius right there. The block here is the Towers coming up with the Two of Cups and the Page of Cups, which is beautiful, loving, innocent energy here. All right, suddenly this one-to-one, this could be a child coming to visit someone too, and this may be a fear, because the blocks are this grounding and integrating. and the sudden events. And here's the sudden event tower over here regarding this separation or distress, this disappointment over there. You know, it could be a sudden anxiety attack too. Maybe it's not a heart attack, but you think it is. A near-death experience again. This could be a message of love or puppy love here. Maybe someone has a near-death experience and then realizes, but what if I never see them again? And then all of a sudden realizes what's most important to them, right? And we have this Queen of Cups and Page of Cups here, which could be siblings, could be mother and child, it could be a pet. But this sudden energy of realizing what's most important here. This sudden realization, like, what if they're not there anymore? What if I never, because I'm so busy working all the time, or I'm so busy with other things that I say are more important to me? What if something happens to me or them and I never get to say what I want to say, or I never get to be with them because I never came forward? That kind of energy, like a sudden realization because of some kind of traumatic event. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles here. And there she is. Either she's not sleeping well and rising above, she doesn't look like it, or she is awakening and coming out about it. To what she's been through. The fight and the pursuit of happiness with no choice. But home and union. And there's that 1111 coming up of the home over there. And the feeling of failure, of being needy for attention, doing things under the radar. And that's the similar energy to this Knight of Wands reversed over here, right? Doing something stupid for fear of being knocked off balance. Regarding romance, with a patient angel or Sagittarius here, feeling weak or needing courage, right? Being scared here. We have Sagittarius upright and Leo reversed, and there could be a pet there as well. You have Leo reversed and Cancer reversed. So there could be some kind of deception here. Or the need to get up early to travel here for whatever's going on here. This also could be finding peace despite the deception here. And is that representing the last new moon as well, right? After this last new moon, finding peace from all of this. We then have the Strength card, which came up reversed here, right? The need to jump through that ring of fire or jump through hoops here. And the Lion came up for you from those Fortune's Oracle cards. That mighty roar of birthing through this ring of fire, but the lion, not the tiger. Tiger is more Sagittarius, where lion is Leo. And then we have the Ten of Swords, and you could be dealing with Aries, since Aries came up with you in the cardinal signs. The Ten of Swords is that painful ending, or ending pain for a long, long time, or perhaps even getting a massage, you know, if someone's feeling really weak on the table. And then we have the Starseed, which is the Fool, but the Fool is reversed here, right? Perhaps getting knocked for a loop, getting knocked on the head, or a big download came in, or snowstorm, and somebody had a sudden awakening here, or got hurt, got knocked for a loop, or just all of a sudden had no energy and you couldn't follow through, and then you had to be still. So maybe the universe was trying to get you to be still and you refused, like most of us do because we live stressed out lives, and then you get hurt to force you on your back so that you learn how to connect with yourself. So we have this Strength card and that Ten of Swords of now the worst is over. The bliss can come in, regarding the King of Wands reversed, holding back or saving, perhaps playing hardball for a new life here, right? Wanting to end this Ten of Swords here. And again, this could be getting a massage, but holding back. They don't want to pay until they know they're getting their money's worth. We have the Ten of Pentacles. This could also be someone in the family giving you a massage, right? Not having to pay. Or perhaps someone getting their money back because they didn't like the massage. This could be a hospital too, if someone had a major surgery here. But I feel like someone's just kind of knocked for a loop. Dumping emotional attachments that no longer serve. This could be getting rid of stuff too. I don't have any Aquarius in my chart really, but I was clearing out boxes from my parents with my siblings yesterday, and I'm sure at least one of them has Aquarius in their chart. So there may be something about that coming up here too, right? Letting go of family stuff that you don't need anymore, which has an emotional charge to it, right? And it could be helped. Maybe you go into sadness about that. Maybe you thought you were over something and then you end up going through stuff, and all of a sudden you're depressed again, or all of a sudden you're grieving again. Maybe you never grieved them and then you went through this stuff and all of a sudden now you're grieving. But it's whatever it is, whether it's grief, depression, or an injury or illness, it's causing you to connect with yourself. There's a reason for this. The Three of Swords here, the Three of Cups reversed is here, which can be, bad influences around, or a secret passion here. It's a lack of joy, right? This is coming together and being social. Enjoy. And this is that lack of joy, that antisocial energy, third-party interference, or third-party literally. And then we have Pisces reversed here. Somebody's world turned upside down. Feeling trapped or anxious, or feeling like their hands are tied, as the Queen of Pentacles is reversed. So somebody else also understanding what it's like to go through that, right? It's like my mom had Alzheimer's for 8 years, and me and my sister, my brother's involved too, but mostly the care for my mom and dad was me and my sister. So having to go through that for a long, long time, and perhaps talking to someone who knows what it's like, right? To help you go through those first steps. Or you're revisiting those energies here. Feeling trapped. Assessing the worth of things, assessing the worth of your time, money, and energy, whether you want to invest in something. Is it worth it to go back to work? Is it worth it to invest in a new home? You're going through some major life changes here. And perhaps the Page of Wands is an excitement about facing the nightmare, right? Perhaps a near-death experience, or feeling dead tired, but facing your fears, to find that you could get through them and find balance in your life, to be more charitable to others, which helps you with having a more balanced life. But it has to be balanced. You can't be the savior, and you can't be the one who never does anything. This is the energy of the King of Pentacles, who's has a lot of abundance, but they're also very charitable and fair. He looks patient. And here he is offering, this is that loyal, humble servant offering their services. Maybe someone who wants to retire and just help others in need. That was actually coming up as in This Is Us as well. There may be those who have some kind of injustice in their life, right? Things in a slowdown or downturn, and things aren't fair, right? Where there's delay after delay, or someone not telling, or constant arguing, or this energy of busyness and can't get a break. And then someone comes in with love, a big cup of love, coming from a place of having tunneled through the difficult energies of an ending of an emotional cycle, and having the fire, right, kind of pushing you through, backing it up, this offer of a new passion, creativity, and growth, knowing the seed is there, coming up behind, right up behind the other, right? If you just this is putting out the love before knowing that you have, not expecting anything in return, right? So knowing that if you do this, the seed will grow. Not having the seed grow and then doing this. You have to do it before you know it. You can't, it's like saying, well, I'm not going to leave this relationship until I know that I have this new relationship. No, it doesn't work that way. You need to let go of the old relationship in order to heal yourself first before going into that new relationship, where then when you heal yourself, that person who's also healed then shows up in your life. There's that kind of energy coming up for you as well. We have the Messages of Love Oracle cards here for you. There's definitely romance around this whole situation, even if it's a very difficult, sad situation. But you have the Nine of Pentacles Sovereign at the end of your read, and it looks like the Empress is up on her feet as well. But there still may be issues at work. You're a fixed sign, and you might have trouble dealing with sudden changes and being still, needing to ground and integrate what you've experienced. So it's like life knocking you off your feet suddenly to force you to do that. And then dealing with this transition here, right? This can be a very slow transition. This is a cycle that, needs to end. But like I said, fixed signs don't like change. And so sometimes a big push or a sudden event will come in to force your hand, so to speak. Aquarius, January, February 2024, Aquarius. Self-care, clear your energy field and focus on yourself before acting. This relationship is moving toward a sacred union. Make sure firm boundaries are in place here. They are needed now. And this person is in your life to teach you a spiritual lesson. You got twin flame. This is a divine counterpart connection. Okay? So it's perhaps going through all the stuff of ending the old life and moving into something new. The underlying energy is decision. It's time to decide about this relationship. A new love commitment, recommitment or recommitment to love is developing. And it's time to decide about that. Okay? But you have to be clear, and you can't hold on to the old relationship waiting for that relationship to come in. You have to leave that relationship or disconnect with what's not working for you and clear your energy field. Love yourself first in order to move towards that connection that you truly want. And always keep your boundaries there, right? Loving yourself first. This person's in your life to teach you a lesson, whether that's this person or the old person. This is a divine counterpart connection. Okay? All right. Big transformation for you, Aquarius, here. Remember to drink plenty of water, right? Make yourself feel good. Part of being good to yourself is self-care, which is drinking good water that's clean and having enough sleep, right? Finding joy in your life, going outside and getting your face in the sun, right? You need the sun in your energy, and you need to ground with the earth. It's really important to your physical health and your emotional, your spiritual health. And do all these things as part of your self-care. Take care of yourself, right? Shower and take, when someone goes through depression, it's, you get into this slump and it's really hard to pull yourself out of there, but it's just one step at a time to learn how to love yourself. Once you start loving yourself, you start being authentically you understand, you start moving towards the things that you're really supposed to do, because now you're authentically you. And then step by step, you start coming out of that. And you start finding real, true happiness in your life. And you start having certain people fall away from you and others walk into your life to help you. Perhaps allowing help that you never allowed before. I guess we'll see. Let me know in the comments. Until next time, Aquarius, rise and be loved. I'll see you soon.